Do you ever wonder why some people are able to have a life of freedom and abundance where they no longer need to worry about money while others struggle living on paycheck to paycheck and sometimes kailangan pang humiram ng pera para lang umabot sa susunod na sweldo? Why do some people have their income and investments growing year after year after year, getting wealthier and wealthier, while others are buried in debts and palaki lang ng palaki ang utang dahil sa interest? Why is it that some families are able to enjoy wealth and kapag nagbabakasyon, tulong-tulong ang magkakapatid sa gastos? While in other families, all the expenses, isang tao lang ang sumasagot. The burden falls on just one person to support their parents while trying to raise kids on their own and naiipit sila dahil lahat ng kapamilya nakadepende sa kanila. In other words, why is it that some have a life of overflowing abundance while others have a life of endless constraints? Ang bigat ng tanong, di ba? But this is what you're about to learn in this video. Hi, my name is Patiño, founder of Pinoy Money Academy, and welcome to the Wealth Breakthrough Workshop. Now, I'm super excited that you're here, so let's get started with lesson number 1. In this first training video, you're going to discover the 3 key differences between those who enjoy the life of abundance versus those with the lives of financial constraints. And once you know these differences, you're going to immediately get clear on what you have to do to have your financial breakthrough. And once you master this topic, you'll be able to move closer to solving your financial problems and achieving your financial goals. So, if you're someone who is buried in debt and you have no idea how to get out of it and be debt-free, or if you're someone who's living from paycheck to paycheck but you want to increase your income and start investing so that you have financial security and peace of mind, or if you're someone who's happy with your current income but unhappy with what you have to sacrifice to earn that money, like having to be away from family or working super long and stressful hours, and it just isn't the life you imagined it to be, then stay with me here throughout this video because you're going to discover how average Filipinos like you and me can experience a life of abundance and why it's critical that you really learn the 3 key differences between the life of abundance versus constraints. The goal of this Wealth Breakthrough Workshop is simple: to help you easily get your next financial breakthrough. And I know that different people watching this video will have different financial situations and will be facing different challenges and will have different goals. That's why in this series, I'm also going to show you the 7 stages to financial abundance. So you know what specific stage you're in, and based on that, you'll find out exactly what you need to be doing specifically to get your next financial breakthrough. But before I go straight into the main lesson, I've got to warn you about something that's super important, and not paying attention to this will guarantee failure, meaning you don't get your financial breakthrough. So if you're someone who's buried in debt, then you'll remain there. If you're living on paycheck to paycheck, ganun pa rin. You will not experience financial breakthrough if you have this belief. What is this belief? It's the belief that becoming wealthy is something you cannot control. What do I mean by that? There are people out there who believe na pag pinanganak kang mahirap, hindi mo na kayang umahon. Or they believe that becoming rich is only for a certain type of person. Dapat swerte sa loto, dapat pinanganak ka na mayaman o mayaman ng magulang, o dapat pinagpala ka ng Diyos that God has to make it your destiny to be rich. Others think that it's because of the government. That's why they are struggling. Basically, all external factors. But you and I both know that at the end of the day, these are just excuses. Because you can see a lot of people who went from poverty to riches na hindi nga pinanganak na mayaman pero ngayon kitang-kita mo ang pag-asenso sa buhay. Wealth does not choose a specific kind of person. Those who never finished school, also those who have PhDs, disabled or fully enabled, you name it, anyone from any background are able to experience financial progress and enjoy a life of abundance. This is because becoming wealthy is a choice. Becoming wealthy is your decision. It is in your control. The decisions you make every single day will either lead you to a life of constraints or to a life of abundance. The choice is yours. And this is a tough thing to hear for some people because saying that wealth is a choice also kind of means that poverty is a choice. Na kung mahirap ang iyong financial situation ngayon, ikaw rin ang may kagagawan nun. So saying that wealth is a choice, wealth is your choice, entails responsibility. the good news is, when you're ready to accept responsibility that wealth is a choice, it also means you are accepting the fact that you can change your circumstances, your financial situation, your net income, your net worth, and your lifestyle. But if this is something that you don't believe in, if you believe that there's no hope and you prefer to just rely on luck and chance or the government or some external factor you can't control, then I'm sorry, this video can't help you. But if you accept that, yes, wealth is a choice, and you're now dying to know, okay, J3, how do I do it? What should I do? Then you're going to love this training series. Now, before I tell you all about the 3 key differences between the life of abundance versus the life of constraints, you might be wondering where I learned all of this and how I figured it out. So let me tell you so you can understand where it's coming from. This all started back in 2010 when I was a fresh grad earning just 18,000 pesos per month. I was working as an instructor in UP Diliman, and it's a prestigious institution, but at the end of the day, it's a government institution. And as you know, our government can sometimes be inefficient. So even though I started working in June of 2010, and I remember it vividly that when our department secretary was handing out pay slips to everyone, when he came to my desk, sabi niya, J3, sorry, pinaprocess pa ang papers mo, baka next month okay na. But the next month came and ganun pa rin. Pay slips to everyone, but I didn't get mine. And this went on for 7 months. So nagtatrabaho na ako, wala pang sweldo. It was not until January the following year that I received my salary. How did I survive, you ask? Well, growing up, I always kept reading books about how to become rich. And a few of the things I learned early on was to avoid debt, to not borrow money, and how to be frugal, paano magtipid, and maghanap ng racket. So, during the 7 months when my salary was delayed, I made it a point to never borrow money or even ask money from my parents. My belief there was that napag-graduate na nila ako, so dapat kaya ko na on my own. I looked for side projects and mga racket so that I could have a source of income. And todo tipid na rin, keeping my expenses to a minimum. Mona with cheese for breakfast, turon with cheese for lunch. Now, the impact of financial education became significant when I received all of my salary 7 months later. It was 6 figures, more than 100,000 pesos. And it was the largest sum of money I had ever seen. And it was all savings, a result of hard work and my sacrifice. Meanwhile, some of my colleagues who also experienced delays in their salary, well, they took the more traditional path. They borrowed money, saying na babayaran na lang nila pag nakuha na nila yung salary. So, when they also received their 100,000 plus pesos, halos lahat naubos ulit pang bayad ng utang. It was as if they earned nothing after 7 months, while here I was having 100,000 plus in pure savings. And what personally fascinated me here is that me and my colleagues, we were all earning the same amount, just 18,000 pesos a month. Some of them even higher because they graduated with honors, mga cum laude. We were also given the same life challenge, delayed salary. But within just 7 months, the financial difference was huge. I had 100,000 plus in savings, while most of them had little to no savings at all. And I attribute that difference because of financial literacy. And it's fascinating how just reading a few books for a few hours way back when I was young led me to having 100,000 plus advantage. Now, that 100,000 plus, I used to start my stock investments at an early age and start my own businesses. And it's been a series of financial breakthroughs. Life has had its set of challenges, and I'm also not saying that I'm now a gajillionaire, but so far life has been getting better and better throughout the years. And this is the reason why I care so much about this topic, because it's made a huge difference in my life. And I share this with more people through Pinoy Money Academy, because financial literacy makes a huge difference in people's lives. For example, one of my earlier students in Pinoy Money Academy, Marie Cisnolim from Cebu, said this: I was buried in debt 5 years ago, but today I have 300k in equity investments and 100k investments for my daughter. Olimar, an OFW engineer in Riyadh, said, in 2012, I had no emergency fund, investment, or even money in my bank account. Laging pagsweldo, bayad utang lang, wala pang sweldo, uutang na ulit. But now, I'm building my retirement funds and educational funds for my 3 daughters by investing monthly in the stock market, and UITFs. I could go on and on here about the impact of how financial literacy has improved lives. And I don't want these realizations, these success stories to stop with me or with my earlier students. So everything I'm about to share with you over the next few days will be the exact methods and strategies I followed and my students followed to get out of debt, to increase their income, to start their investments, to grow their passive income, and overall to have a life of financial freedom and abundance. And that's what I want for you as well, to stop having a life of constraints and start choosing a life of abundance. So to get started, let's first differentiate between someone who is experiencing the life of constraints versus the life of abundance. And this is best explained in this drawing. A person living a life of constraints experiences a period of growth, then decline. And we're not sure when that next growth phase will happen. But when it does, again, it's a growth followed by a decline. Here are some real-life examples of that growth-decline cycle. A person living from paycheck to paycheck. You get money, growth, and over the period of the month, money is spent and decline. Another one, an OFW goes abroad to receive a high salary and saves money for several years. The growth. Then comes home but mismanages his savings and loses it all. Decline. So, they have to go out of the country again. Another one, a hardworking father provides everything for his family and saves up for his retirement. Growth. But he gets sick and unable to cope with the medical bills is forced to sell the house and everything the family owns. Decline. This is the defining sign of the life of constraints. You experience growth, but it gradually declines over a period of time. Meanwhile, the life of abundance, you see growth, but the line is going up and it's sustained. It doesn't go down. Instead, it is followed by another period of growth. Then it's sustained, followed by another period of growth, then sustained, and it just keeps on going up. The real-life example of this is the person who starts out just like anyone else. You might have went to the same schools, gotten the same jobs, but after a few years, they get promoted, getting a higher salary. Then you hear they already started investing and it's going well. A few years later, they move to a different company with a higher paying job, and now they are also having real estate properties for rent. Then later on, you discover that they also have a thriving business. And when you look at this person, life just keeps getting better and better. They have a wonderful and loving family. And for their children, they also get a great education. They have access to things that will help them succeed in life. And even in death, this person leaves a valuable inheritance for the next generation and for their charitable organizations. And you might think, ang swerte naman ng taong yan, pinagpala, he's so lucky. But remember what I said earlier in this video? If you believe that achieving wealth is out of your control, then nothing else can help you. But if you believe that wealth is a choice and you choose to be wealthy, you can be on your way also to living a life of abundance. Because in reality, people who experience abundance made many good decisions that allowed them to experience life getting better and better and better all the time. So, when you understand the three key differences of the life of constraints versus the life of abundance, you're going to see exactly what these decisions are. Because these differences also have a behavioral component, meaning may ginagawa na iba ang nakaka-experience ng life of abundance. So, let's talk about the three key differences and the behaviors behind it. The first difference is in the frequency of the breakthroughs. The growth periods, the blessings, the landing a better job, getting that promotion, the windfall, the salary, the bonus, the successful investment, the new business. These are what we call breakthroughs. In the life of constraints, you have what we call sporadic breakthroughs, meaning irregular. You don't know exactly what, when, or how an improvement in your life will be happening. Tsambahan lang, swertihan lang. And the underlying behavior of this is because they wait for growth to happen. Whereas in the life of abundance, we have regular breakthroughs. They happen at regular intervals. And the underlying behavior of this is because they intentionally make the breakthroughs happen. Let me give a quick example with two employees, Andrew and Andrea. Both of them have been working as bank tellers for 2 years, and both of them are receiving regular increases in their salary. Both of them, though, notice that they are no longer learning anything new, na hindi na sila natututo. So Andrea says to her boss that she's looking to take on more responsibility, maybe a different role or a different function so that she could be promoted. But her boss says she can't do anything about it. So Andrea starts looking for other jobs that will offer her career growth, a job where she'll continue learning and growing more as a person. So she eventually finds one and moves to that new company. Meanwhile, si Andrew decides to stay put, hoping at the back of his mind, someday he'll be promoted to manager. Knowing this now about Andrew and Andrea, who do you think 20 years from now would have achieved more in their career? Si Andrea, diba? Because she's seeking growth and her breakthrough, while Andrew is just waiting. And for all we know, 5 years, 10 years could pass and Andrew would still be waiting. Now, my message here is not about jumping from one company to the next. No. It's about making sure that you are going to get a breakthrough at some point in the near future and you are working towards it, not just waiting for it. So, first key difference, life of constraints experience sporadic breakthroughs because they wait for things to happen, while the life of abundance experiences regular breakthroughs because they make things happen. Okay? The second key difference now is what happens after the breakthrough. With the life of constraints, the breakthrough is followed by a decline. So, the breakthrough is unstable. Whereas with the life of abundance, the breakthrough is sustained. So, let me give you an example. Marlo and Malu just received their Christmas bonus amounting to 25,000 pesos. Marlo decides to save it because he wants savings in case of an emergency. Malu, on the other hand, decides to go on a shopping spree and even uses her credit card because she spent over her limit. Pwede naman daw kasing monthly installment. A few months later, their company informs them that they are downsizing. And sadly, both Marlo and Malu get redundated. Now, who do you think would experience a grave decline here? Marlo, who has built up an emergency fund, or Malu, who still has to pay for her credit card debts? Malu would definitely be in deeper trouble because she has less savings and she still has debts to pay. So she could get buried in interest payments. Now, I'm not against shopping here. It's good to celebrate every now and then. But the point is, are you protecting your breakthroughs when you get them? Many times we hear stories of people who had it good, but then someone gets sick and they don't have enough medical insurance, or they get into an accident and it wipes them out, or they were able to save a lot but got scammed because of not enough due diligence. In other words, those living the life of constraints, they don't protect their breakthroughs. They take on risks, while those living the life of abundance avoid and minimize risks. And that's why they don't experience declines, or when they do, it's just with a small amount. Now, let's go to the third key difference, and this is in the intensity of the breakthrough. This might not be so obvious in the drawing, so you have to look closely. The life of constraints experiences roughly the same size of breakthroughs when they happen, while in the life of abundance, the next breakthroughs are bigger and higher the next time. So the life of constraints, they have a linear growth pattern, while the life of abundance experiences exponential growth. The difference comes from whether we have what I call zero-sum thinking or abundance thinking. Now, I know that these are new terms, so let me give 2 examples. Do you know someone who is so focused on their career or their business that they forget about everything else important in life? That they sacrifice their health, their family life, and their happiness just so they can be quote-unquote successful? I bet you know someone like this. And this is zero-sum thinking at work. They try to get +1 in one area of life, but another area gets a -1. So when you sum it up, at the end, it's 0. Now, on the contrary, let me share with you a story of one of my friends, John Pagulayan. John is a freelancer, and this guy is a legend in the freelancing community because he's such a generous guy and is earning 7 figures every single month. Now, one time in a party, we were talking casually about his health because he just started working with a health coach. So I was curious, like, how does it work? Is it effective? And so on. And he shared something that really surprised him. And it's about how he got an unexpected breakthrough in his business. This breakthrough was that he was finally able to break 7 figures in a week. Again, that's 1 million pesos earned in just 7 days. And he said that this was also the week when he was the most focused on his exercise and when he was eating right. And he was surprised at the correlation. He said that because of his exercise, he had more energy throughout the day, and that gave him more focus, and he was able to get more things done faster, allowing him to earn 7 figures in just 1 week. And that's how abundance thinking works. That as you improve your other areas of life, your marriage, your spirituality, your family, your health, it overflows into each other. It compounds on other aspects, propelling you into greater levels of abundance. So, one important thing you have to know about this series is that, yes, it's called Wealth Breakthrough Workshop. So, we'll be talking about money a lot, but that doesn't mean we forget about our health, our family, our relationships, our values, our spirituality, our integrity, our passions, because those are other areas of life. And they are resources that allow us to break through to higher and higher levels of abundance. Alright? So, now that you know the 3 key differences between the life of constraints versus the life of abundance, and when you have regular, sustained, and exponential breakthroughs, life will just keep getting better and better. Now, I've summarized everything in this table right now. You can take out your phone and take a screenshot of this image. Now, the next big question is, okay, so where or how do I get my next financial breakthrough? And hands down, that's a really important question. Because if you don't know how and where your next breakthrough is coming, you're going to remain stuck. And if you chase the wrong breakthrough to work on, it's not going to be sustainable, where you could experience growth, yes, but it will be followed by an immediate decline because it was the wrong choice, where this year would be the same as last year, the same as 5 years ago, and the same as 10 years ago. So how and where can you get your next correct breakthrough? That's what I'm going to show you in the next video. In the next video, I'm going to show you how you get your next breakthrough. And the cool thing about that video is, regardless of what your current financial situation is, whether you're burdened debt and want to be debt-free, or you want to increase your income, or you're living from paycheck to paycheck and want to start with your investments, or you're already earning good income, but you want to generate passive income via businesses and investing so you can retire earlier and enjoy a life of freedom and abundance, whatever your financial situation is, you're going to discover your next breakthrough in the next video. Because there you're going to learn about the 7 stages towards financial abundance. You know, different people will have to work on different things to get their regular, sustained, and exponential breakthroughs. And once you see the 7 stages to abundance, you're going to know exactly what you need to work on to get your breakthrough and be able to sustain it so your years just keep getting better and better. I'm excited to see you in video number 2. But in the meantime, I want to invite you to join my Wealth Breakthrough Workshop Facebook group. This is where I'll answer all your questions about money, about getting out of debt, about business, insurance, investments, increasing your income, basically anything and everything about money. The link to join the group is just below this video. So give that link a click, which will bring you to Facebook. Just click on Request to Join and start asking your financial questions there, and I will answer them throughout this workshop. Now, one more thing. I want you to leave a comment below this video and tell me, what was the key difference about the life of constraints versus the life of abundance that struck you the most? Ano yung pinaka tumama sa'yo? Or ano yung pinaka nagpa-oo nga no sa'yo? Leave a comment below and I'll be reading each one. And I'll also try to respond to as many as I can. Lastly, if you found this video useful, please share it on Facebook, Twitter, or by sending a friend to the URL link to this page. This is just the beginning of the series, but I already want to congratulate you for completing this video and staying with me throughout. Because if you reached up to this point, it means that you believe that yes, wealth is a choice and you're choosing to be wealthy. You're choosing to move closer to a life of abundance so that every single month and year, it's just going to get better and better. I'm excited to see you in video number 2, where you learn about the 7 stages to financial abundance so you know how to get your next financial breakthrough, regardless of what current situation you're in right now. Video number 2 is going to be available in a few days. Just watch out for it in your email and I'll see you there.